So some people in the chat room keep asking what the Google Doc is that I referenced in the preview post for the show.
The people demand Google Docs.
People demand Google Doc news. But that has to do with the crowdsourced sci-fi novel that we've been publishing for the past couple of weeks here on CNET. We've talked about it on the show since, this has been going on for so long. I feel like it's been going on since last year. In November is when we threw a Google Doc online with an outline of a sci-fi novel, and we asked everyone to help us crowdsource it. And then a few months later, we did actually have a semblance of a novel, and then Kelsey and I and a few other people have spent the last few months editing and endlessly editing the thing, providing feedback, shaping.
My big question on this is when it gets optioned, how are you going to do writer credits? Who's writing the screenplay?
We've got a credit page. We've got a really long page of contributors.
Is the screenplay going to be then crowdsourced as well? I feel like...
So the way we did this, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, is we put the Google Doc online, and it's still actually there, and anyone can still go edit it and play around with it. That's actually cnet.com/crowd-sci-fi. That takes you right to the Google Doc we're talking about. And that Google Doc is over 100 pages that is all Creative Commons, meaning anyone could build upon it, take it and, change something else, make crowdsourced fan fiction. I don't care. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, what is amazing to me about this is that it was not just completely filled with porn and, trolling. And how did you avoid that?
There was a couple of instances, but,
Sorry about that, by the way.
I know, I'm like, it is now.
Cumberbatch.
That was surprising to me too, actually, is that, there was maybe one case of vandalism, and then there were a few scenes of maybe faux erotica, although they actually, they weren't actually that bad. They didn't make the final cut.
I'll add my tentacle paragraph later.
But I don't know. I like to compare it, to like a jigsaw puzzle where we just kind of put this jigsaw puzzle out on a card table at a party, and then people kind of would stop and do a couple of pieces, or maybe do an entire section of the puzzle. And over a couple of months, an actual narrative did emerge. And Kelsey, it's been kind of interesting when you ask hundreds of people to write a book, you end up with obviously different writing voices and different writing styles. So we did have to get a little creative to figure out a way to kind of preserve the crowdsourced nature of it. I didn't just go in and edit everything so that it sounds like I wrote it, because then what would be the point of having crowdsourced it? So it's worth checking out. It's cnet.com/crowd-control. Yeah, we have 10 installments up now. I'm also working on kind of a few lessons learned posts, a little behind the scenes stuff. And it was really interesting process. I don't know that we produced a Pulitzer Prize winner, but it's a co-created work with literally hundreds of contributors behind it. So was an interesting experience. And I think I'm going to be figuring out what we learned from it for years in advance. It's going to take a long time to digest.